Hello everybody and welcome to my Stippling. I am here at my local dive bar. You can tell from the music in the background that it is my local dive bar where I do all my work. And it is a rainy day. So I anticipate quite quickly that this bar will get not jam-packed, but I figure the bigger crowd than usual because it's rainy, nobody does anything to do, and of course we got college football. This crowd in this bar doesn't really get a whole lot of doesn't have a huge college football crowd. You get some people when Penn State's playing, but not a whole lot really. So you really just people come in here and chit chatting and talking shit and all. So, but I mean, it's where I get my work done. It's where I enjoy having my time alone. So, before I go any further, of course, like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment and share if you like the video. And we have a new subscriber, so welcome, and hope you enjoy the show. Last night I was on Shay's Friday night chill stream, and it was nice. She entitled it that was talking more about the Baltimore Con, and I of course wanted to get on it because I was at the Baltimore Con, had a great time, and wanted to talk to everybody. And it was just a nice, relaxing stream, no drama. And here, what Shay does is Shay will have the link to the show pinned at the top of the chat, so anybody can just jump on. And we did have somebody jump on who was wanting to stir up drama and immediately got kicked. I'm glad, as Shay then had to go through a disclaimer of what this show's about. It's a non-drama show. As she puts it, when you get all this shit talk, she's like, you know what, I was 13 once and I wasn't impressed with it then, I'm not impressed with it now. And I'm glad Alex just was like, yeah, you're causing problems, and boop, bye-bye, no more in the show. So I was happy for that. It was just a nice show. We were talking about the upcoming art auction, which is I want to say the 14th of October. I am going to be participating in it this time. I'm in the 4 to 7 o'clock slot, and I do have something available, something I've been working on just for that show, just for that stream. So it's just a nice, fun time to have. So, and with what happened last night was, I had already decided from earlier this week that I had a topic I wanted to discuss and talk about for today. And then, of course, we had the drama on Shay's stream last night, and how, like I said, Alex wasn't having it, and just immediately, boop, bye-bye, go, bye-bye. And it reminded me of this Kelsey. He posted a poll on Twitter saying, are you here for the comics you want to see made, or are you here for the political shit? And when I last looked at the poll, it was 89% I'm here for comics, and only 11% I'm here for the drama, and political drama specifically. And that's why I'm here. The reason why I became a part of Comicsgate and what Comicsgate is to me, okay? My definition of what Comicsgate is from when I first discovered Comicsgate back in at the very end of 2020. When I really started catching on to how I discovered it, actually, my Comicsgate origin story. Da, 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 da. How did he find Comicsgate? Why is he here? We want to know. Quite simply, because Graham Nolan was doing his 31 Days of Monsters. And it was during the pandemic, not a lot. Lots of times Saturday morning, I would go run some errands and then head home. Because we couldn't go anywhere, a lot of times I would do my errands in the morning while Miss Stippling would do her morning cleaning, because it would be first thing in the morning, and Miss Stippling's a bit of a bear in the morning. She's a bit of a grump, and she can be scary when she's a grump. So how better to avoid it than to, I've got to run these errands, honey. So I'd be up first thing Saturday morning, and I'd go run my errands, and Graham would be doing his 31 Days of Monsters, and I started listening to him, not just something to listen to. And then he did his storytellers, and I didn't catch him live. I started catching him rerun. And when he did his Howard Chaykin one, and when he did his one with Walt and Wheezy, very, very good. I enjoyed him immensely. In fact, a lot of the stuff that Howard talked about, with how when you're writing a story, start out by doing your story on cue cards, because all it is real estate. You can only, no matter how much you write, you can only fit so much onto a page, and that's how you do it. You figure out your plot and everything with the cue cards, and then you go and you then do your drawing. And I enjoyed it immensely, and it really was a light going off for me for doing my story, Scat Investigators. I had already had ideas, or I should say, I had already had scenes planned out in my head, but I didn't actually have the whole story. So once I had that instruction from Howard, I started. Give me a minute here, guys. I started I started writing on the cue cards and creating the plot so I could figure everything out, and it was a great, immense help. And like I said, it was like a light bulb going off. And so as he was doing the storytellers, I found out about Dennis and Andy and started watching some of their streams. And then from there, I remember for me, the very first Bros episode was on Graham's channel, and they were talking about Star Trek, which was funny because the only two people on the stream that really knew anything about Star Trek and had something to contribute was Aaron the Presti and Graham. Andy was there, but he didn't really have anything to participate. Art also, he didn't really have anything to participate. But for me, it was great because it was like, oh wow, this is R.T. Bear. Oh wow. And so, this is a legendary guy. I've seen so much of his stuff. And so for me, it was just like getting to be introduced to these guys. And the thing about the Bros is, and still to this day, is it is comic book centric. It is all about the comic books, and they and with their, whether it be the writer, inker, and the stuff that they want, stuff that got them into comics and stuff that they like. It was just really cool. It's like a cool chill stream, it was just like the old days of when you'd have conversations in a comic book store with fellow comic book fans, and how you'd have conversations about when Superman died, or when the very first issue of X-Men by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont came out. It's like you just wanted to talk about oh my god, how cool it was, and what were they going to do next after that issue was over, and just watercolor talk, speculation, and just all around just having fun, just talking about what you love. And so that was pretty much it. And then I discovered through an episode of Graham did on the storytellers called crowdfunding. And after he explained crowdfunding, which I still didn't really know anything about it, he came in, he brought in like Andy Smith and Billy Tucci and Art, and then the person who popped in was Ethan. And Graham started showing up on Ethan's shows. And so I started watching Ethan's shows, and where it was like, and I started to learn how what was happening to these guys and why weren't they working in the mainstream anymore, because they'd pretty much been kicked out. And I was like, well, that sucks. I mean, these are the guys I liked. I don't like these new guys. Until I'd discovered these guys in their streams, I understood why I was buying less and less comics. So I thought it was just me, that like, it's got to be me. These comic books can't be that bad. No, these comic books are that bad. Why are they that bad? So, and as time went on, I discovered other shows. But lately, it's one of those what's like, I mean, all the big shows that I started watching, that really started to become popular, I started to shy away from because I didn't like the content. They were just going, I mean, what really got me was when they Malin did his whole purity test about how not to go to Kickstarter, and if you are going to Kickstarter, I don't have any respect for you, and this, that, and the other thing. And I was just like, no, this is about comic books. Okay, this isn't a purity test. This isn't about who you have to align with. And I'm sorry, that's not why I'm here. And I've heard it echoed from other creators. Jason Bascom's one, where it's like Comicsgate for him is the love of comics and wanting good comics, and how we're not getting good comics we're not getting good comic books anymore. And that's why we're here, is because we want good comics. And that's why I'm here. I mean, I'm really tired of the political bullshit. I mean, it's like everything's become political now. And it's one of those where it's like, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for this politics stuff. I'm here to escape the politics. And I would love, and that's the reason why I'm enjoying the streams that I'm becoming a part of, with watching regularly, commenting in the chat, and now becoming part of the shows. Is, yes, it could be argued that we do get we have our fill of drama in the chat, but that's just creating a topic of conversation for the evening. But you really take a look at it on the chat, okay? If the chat, because it's called the chat, which means it's all about the audience participation. And if you have the chat and they don't want to talk about your topic of conversation, they start going elsewhere with their topic, with their comments, that's where you're going to go. If they want to talk about this subject instead of this subject, that's where you're going to go with the evening's topic of conversation. So, but for me, I like these draw streams, like Stat when he does his draw streams, and it's just him. He doesn't really have anybody on, and he has a low viewers during the actual streaming of the show. But he just goes into almost like a stream of consciousness with his opinion, and he's also the same way as where it's like, I just want good comics. That's why I'm here. And you really think about it, the whole reason why Comicsgate started was because we wanted someplace where we could talk about comics and why we didn't like the current stuff, and we wanted to be able to have a forum to express why we like this old stuff and not the new stuff. Because if we discussed it elsewhere as why we didn't like it, we were attacked, and we were called names, and it was deflected on us as if we were the problem why these comic books are bad. And it's like, no, we're the customer. We're the ones that give you the ability to make these comics, and you're telling us to F off. Well, okay, bye. And you wonder why the books have gone down so low in quality and sales, is because they told their fan base to go F off. So that's why I'm here. I mean, Like I said, Bascom said it best when he goes, I'm here for the love of the comics and good comics. And you take a look at that's the reason why you take a look at why is the indie scene blowing up so much right now. It's because 9 times out of 10, we're all fans that are sick of what's being produced, and we're starting to produce the books that we're creating the stories that Marvel and DC used to put out, stories we wanted to see, but we don't have the rights to those characters, so we create our own characters and tell our own stories. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm Comicsgate. I'm here because of the comics and because of the stories. I'm not here for the political bullshit. I mean, you kind of get enough. Here's the thing: if I really want political bullshit, I'll go to a law tube show. And the reason why I go to law tube shows is because they're lawyers. They read. Their whole career has been all about reading between the lines of what's being said versus what's actually happening, and how they're using what's being written to manipulate it to what they want it to be. Okay, that's what law tube's for me, is to do the breakdown of, okay, they're saying this, but they're using it because they want to do this. Okay, and more importantly, also, is that LawTube is important to me because it's the only way you really get a true sense of what's going on. Because you saw it with both Kyle Rittenhouse and you saw it with Depp Heard, was because the media was telling you this. But as we all discovered, because we watched the trial, it was actually this. So you really start to understand how the media will intentionally omit facts to tell their narrative. Or instead of reporting the news, they subjugate it to tell what they want. And how like this is wrong, what happened, da da da. It's like one of those, it's like, did you not watch the trial? Because we did. And yeah, this guy is a complete and utter asshole. I mean, it's one of those, like this guy is a complete and utter fuckwad. But when you look at the evidence, he wasn't breaking the law. And that's what's important, is how it's like, remember, we have constitutional rights that let us be assholes and fucktards. Okay, but as long as we're not breaking the law, we have every right to be those things. So you really take a look how it's like what's we got going on is how it's like you're looking at go, the media doesn't care about the truth anymore. They care about what they want to say. And that's the reason why I flock now so much to LawTube, is to get a truer sense of what's happening and how yeah, this guy's an asshole, but he didn't break the law at all. So, okay, I got that done. I want to work over here. I want to get this guy, work on his hand. So this page, this is almost done. This page, this image. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm working on it now. I think what I might just do is when I go to do my stippling video, I'll probably do this one. I'll probably finish. My intention is to finish this image through the stippling videos. That may happen, they may not. The reason why I say that is because if you notice how I'm moving the paper around, when I do the time-lapse videos, it doesn't look as good when I'm moving the page around. So I don't generally, so it's, you have to keep the page stable. So there's certain areas where it's like, oh, I want to work on that, but I gotta move the paper, so I'm not going to, like I just did now. So, like I said, I just don't care for it when the page is moving all over the place when doing a stippling video that's time-lapsed. So what I'm going to try to do is hit his hand, get it finished up in time, And that way I can do, when I do my time lapse, it's going to be these mountains here, this here, and then I'll be finishing up doing this here. That, and probably most likely his hat. When I get done with this video, and before I start up the time lapse, I'll probably put in a little bit of tone to give me an idea of where I want put the tone into mold and give the hat more shape. So, but with that, I'll be able to then finish this piece, and then the next piece I'm working on. The next piece I'm working on, which I am anticipating to begin it tomorrow, is I'm doing a Star Wars page. It is a Star Wars page of all the characters from the original Marvel Comics run. So we all remember Dani, how she was a little piece of like a sex pot, and how she had her cohorts in crime, the Rodin character, the Guido character, or Greedo. Okay, he's there. The one female farm girl with red hair when Luke crashed on the planet, she'll be in it, and a couple of and some other characters. Ellie. The last issue of Star Wars before the Return of the Jedi was about getting the plans, and they were hidden inside a protocol droid called Ellie, and Ellie was designed after Ralph McQuarrie's original drawing of her, of what C-3PO would look like. And C-3PO had a very feminine look when Ralph first drew her. So she will be in it. So, but no, that's what I'm planning on starting tomorrow. You'll get that. So, but until then, like I said, hopefully I'll have this one done today. So, but yeah, I'm having to come up with ideas for like what to do for when I'm doing these videos, because I've reached the point where I'm working on my pages for Scat Investigators. As it's all like the secret reveal stuff now, and explains all the other pages, what's been going on with all the other pages that you've seen. And when you look at the past videos, when you're like, well, they're really not doing anything. Well, there's a reason why they're not really doing anything. They're setting everything up for the end of the story, where you have all the reveal, which is essentially what creature they're fighting. And I don't really want to reveal that yet. Plus a couple other things I just don't want to reveal at all. Don't want to give away the whole story when I'm showing off these pages. So that doesn't mean I'm not going to show you any more work on Scat Investigators. What I'm probably going to be doing is, if I have one panel that, okay, I can show you that panel, it's not really showing anything off of what's happening in the story, what I'll do is I'll tape pieces of paper over all the other panels, so you just have that panel to look at while I'm doing my demo. So, and as you can see how like it's really fine right now. And the reason why it's really fine is because I'm using, okay, see, I'm not using the nib going down like this, okay, the way you would. I flip the nib over, okay, and that's the reason why the lines are almost wispy, is because I'm doing that way. So, but that's the reason why, like here, it's a combination of both this way and that way. So that's the reason why that's slightly darker. But then you see how this hand is. This hand is much like that, okay? So, but yeah, so I've got pretty much everything done. The only thing I need to do is I do need to go in here. I do need to do these wings. So, another reason why also is I have the nib itself, it gums up, so I gotta clean it more. I've already in this video stopped and cleaned my nibs twice, so I'm reaching the point where I need to stop, and I don't want to stop too much when I'm doing these videos. So let's see here, we got So we've got just put them in real light. And again, you can see where it's starting to gum up, so that it's not flowing out smoothly. So, yeah, I'm reaching the point where I gotta stop. So, and I got almost a half an hour. I'm noticing I'm getting better at producing videos are about a half hour. Let me know which is better. If it's better to do a 15-minute video or a half-hour video, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I can't get better with my content if I don't get feedback. So, hope to hear from you. And remember, life is stressful. And that's why you always take it one dot at a time.